Hello, and welcome to this Python tutorial for beginners. In this video, we're going to cover the basics of the Python programming language. If you're new to coding, don't worry, we'll guide you through each step of the process. The first step is to download Python. You can download the latest version of Python from python.org. Once you've installed Python, you can open the Python interpreter to write and run Python code. Once you have successfully installed Python onto your computer, now we must download an IDE using an Integrated Development Environment, or IDE for short. We can make coding in Python much easier. An IDE is a software application that provides tools and features to help you write, test, and debug your code. Imagine that you're a chef working in a kitchen. The IDE is like your kitchen workspace, where you have all the tools and ingredients you need to prepare a meal. Just as you have knives, pans, and utensils in your kitchen, an IDE has a code editor, debugging tools, and project management features. Let's start by searching for PyCharm on Google. You can download the free version of PyCharm from JetBrains.com. Click on the link above and download for whatever operating system you are currently using. I am currently using Windows, but you might be on Mac or another operating system. Now, once you have downloaded PyCharm, we can open it and create a new Python project and start coding. Now, writing your first Python program is an exciting step towards becoming a programmer. The Hello World program is a famous first program that most people write when learning a new programming language. This program simply outputs the message Hello World to the console of the IDE or interface. All this program does is let you know that you've successfully written and run your first program in that language. It will also help you learn the basic syntax for the coding language of your choice. Now that we've written a simple program, let's look at some basic data types in Python. In Python, there are four main data types: integers, floats, strings, and booleans. Integers and floats represent numerical values. Strings represent text values, and booleans represent true or false value. Let's create some variables to store values of these data types. Here's an example. In this example, we've created four variables: x, y, name, and is underscore student. X is an integer, ey is a float, name is a string, and is underscore student is a boolean. You can use the print function to display the value of a variable, like this. This will print out the values of each variable to the console. Try it out for yourself. Finally, let's look at some basic control structures in Python. Control structures allow you to control the flow of your program based on certain conditions. The two main control structures in Python are if statements and loops. Here's an example of an if statement. Now let's run the program, like we did for the Hello World and variables. Click the top right, and you should receive the same response as mine. If statements are important because they help programmers set certain event, variables that will occur if a certain criteria has been met. Next, let's look at loops. There are two main types of loops in Python: for loops and while loops. Here's an example of a for loop. This code will print out the numbers 0 through 4 to the console. The for loop iterates over the range of numbers from 0 to 3 and prints out each number. In this example, we have a while loop that prints the numbers 1 through 5 to the console. The loop starts with a variable I initialized to 1. The while loop condition checks if I is less than or equal to 5. As long as the condition is true, the code inside the loop is executed. Now that's the basics of loops, if statements, and simple variables. Now let's discuss what functions are, how they work, and how you can use them in your Python programs. Let's start with the basics. What is a function? In Python, a function is a reusable block of code that performs a specific task. Functions can take in input, perform some operation on that input, and then return a result. It's important to keep in mind with functions that you need to call the function after defining it for it to print a value in the console or do the task you specified. This is because defining a function simply creates the function as an object in memory. It doesn't actually execute any of the code inside the function until you call it. To call the function, you would need to add a line like this. That's all for Python basics. Look through my channel for other videos relating to educational Python development and strategies. And that concludes our tutorial on the basics of Python programming. We hope you found this video informative and helpful as you start your journey to becoming a skilled Python developer. Remember, while these concepts are essential for getting started with Python, there's still so much more to learn. Be sure to check out the other videos on our channel for more advanced topics, educational strategies, and tips and tricks for mastering Python development.
Thanks for watching and happy coding! This video was made possible by Complete AI Text to Speech.